Susan and I want to just thank you for everything, the contribution you've made to our lives, the contribution you've made to so many people's lives in so many ways. And we have this book. We've signed it for you. I'll read it out to you. From page it says, "My dear Fast Eddie, I could never repay you for all you've given me. Please know it's been a total transformation and honor. I love you forever. Paige." And I wrote, "Ed, thank you for all that you are in this world, and thank you for all that you have shared with me. Your inspiration will live forever. Much love, Jeff." And thank you.
Let's just dance and have some fun. Let the world go on and on and on and on and on.
They have crossed over the line, and the light's about to turn green.
It's another hot sunny day here in Central Texas. Temperature is 105 for downtown Austin.
I know. I know. It was pure insanity. Insanity!
Come go with me. The sun is going down, the lights are coming on, and you turn me on even more.
This is Caleb Henry Smeisterlin, and he is a month old.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for letting me hold him.
Oh, beautiful.
My name is Ed Epperson, and the reason I'm here is I think there are two ways to die. One way is well, and the other way is badly. So I'm determined that I'm going to die well. And so one of the things that I consider dying badly is when you have a funeral and everybody says good things about you, or they say what they appreciate you for, admire you for, but you're dead and you don't get to hear any of it. So what I'm here for is just listening to Jeff's words about what he thinks about me, so that he can carry that into the world for his friends and aunts and uncles and grandparents and so forth in the world, so that we can change this whole death denial culture into a death acknowledgement culture. So I feel enormously grateful to Jeff and Paige and Mary for the life I've had, and I am ready to die. I don't want to die, I'm just ready.
Bold words. I'd like to acknowledge you today for some of the contribution you've had in my life. I'll just point out that I met you about 7 years ago, I think it was, when I was chasing Paige. She is largely the reason that I reached out to you. I think you weren't expecting me, but I called you one day and said, hey, I heard you wanted to have a conversation with me. And you said, well, I wasn't expecting that, but I'd love to. And I remember that just easiness that you had and eagerness to connect with me, somebody that you didn't even know at that point, was very startling. And that was the first thing about you that caught me off guard, was how much you wanted to give to me, even without knowing me. And so we had a series of conversations after that, largely about masculinity and women and kind of what it means to be a man in a relationship. And I was 30 years old, kind of starting to lean into masculinity in a conscious way for the first time, as opposed to just kind of reacting to my hormones and my desires and the various women that were around at whatever time. You know, it was kind of just a reactionary existence. And as I was growing up, I needed some guidance, and you offered that to me. You helped me understand more about what it means to be a man in the world, and what it means to be alive in the world, and how there are habits that need breaking, and there are ways of thinking that need to die, ways of opening yourself up to possibilities you didn't know exist, if you're brave enough to let go of convention. You used to piss me off frequently with the things you would tell me, or the questions you would ask me, or the things you would ignore that I said, and I didn't really get it, you know, at first, what your deeper intentions or deeper meaning was behind that surface level triviality that I was bringing up. I guess it took practice of, you know, trying to see the bigger picture, see the deeper context, see the root of the matter. And it was always the same with you. You know, you always elevated the conversation to some new level that I didn't know existed or didn't want to go to, or it's like bitter medicine that I needed to swallow sometimes. You always had that medicine for me. Sometimes I felt like I didn't need your medicine, and I would leave you alone for months on end, and sometimes I would just need a conversation, and you were always willing for that. And through that, I have developed a radical love relationship with Paige, and we have gone places I didn't know existed in love. My life is a lot bigger as a result of that. So thank you.
Thank you. Well said. Let me add something here. There's a book called The Second Mountain. And it basically says that in the first 40 years of life, we can kind of do the first mountain. And then a lot of people never get around to the second mountain. They just spend their 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s doing the same thing they did in their 20s and 30s and 40s, just less well. But this book is really wonderful because it says that you can gain a lot of life between 40 and 80 that most people don't think about. They worry about being 40 and that's real old, and they're going to be real old at 50. But when you're 80 or 90 years old, like say Jimmy Carter, you can look back on 40 years of really serious fun and joy and celebration with grandkids and trips and adventure of all sorts. So I think we tend to invalidate our lives after 40 in America, when that's the time we can have our best times. We just have to realize that we don't know everything and we haven't experienced everything. It's time to be innocent and vulnerable and childlike and curious rather than all-knowing.
Well, lucky me, I have a good reminder of how to be childlike as I approach 40.
But there are a lot of people who have babies around and they don't use them for that. So you want to
Excellent
give
teachers.
yourself a pat on the back for being awake to that possibility.